Cross Day. The release that never happened was to take place in the village of Gaselema, in the mountains.
It was very exciting. Hundreds of people had come from the neighbouring tribal areas, neighbouring mountains, valleys. Cakes had been flown in by the Red Cross from other villages. Cabbages and potatoes were brought in, and they were roasted in pits in the traditional way. And there was dancing and war dances and war songs. And representatives from Holland and Britain and Indonesia had been flown in by the Red Cross as well. And there was cake and sweets and cigarettes as well. And it was really a very happy day, and we were dressed up in traditional dress. We had bands across our chests, and the girls wore grass skirts. And it was all going really, very well until the speeches.
It was an optimism that was shared at the time by Henry Fournier, who remains to this day baffled by why it went so badly wrong at the last minute.
I still remember that everything was so well and fine, the sun was there. Nothing could have allowed us to think that it would not be an happy ending. And I still today don't understand why Mr. Kwalik changed his mind during this speech.
Until now, no one has been able to offer an insight into what happened that day that so upset the OPM leader. But new material does shed light on his thinking and begins to explain why he became angry and then defiant.
Tapi kalau orang yang sudah mengerti, melihat dengan keadaan begini, bisa merasa kasihan. Malaysia Barat.
Kwalik felt frustrated. He had requested that representatives of the international community, specifically from the British and Dutch governments, attend the release ceremony to carry his message to the world. But the people that came from London and Amsterdam were simply from the International Red Cross. He wasn't impressed with the messengers. Neither was he happy with the Red Cross cameramen. He had asked for the release to be covered by international news organizations. He knew that he wasn't getting it. It all seemed to confirm doubts he'd been having for weeks. He had wanted the International Red Cross to make public their video of negotiations, but that hadn't happened. Even before the Red Cross talks, Kwalik had released a German hostage with another message that had been ignored.
Dengan perjanjian itu dibebaskan, padahal kenyataannya dari dia itu tidak ada. Oh, kalau begitu yang lain ini dilepaskan juga terjadi hal yang sama. Berarti kita hanya lepas itu hanya cuma-cuma saja. Penyanderaan ini hanya cuma-cuma saja.
He was feeling betrayed.
Karena ini daerah yang begitu, jadi orang-orang pintar atau orang-orang yang berpengetahuan bisa ditipu. Sebab ini masyarakat dianggap bahwa ini masyarakat yang tidak mengerti.
As celebration turned to disaster, despair set in. Henry and his team left, saying they would return the following day.
As the chopper pulled off with the Red Cross and the representatives inside, we were all in tears, those of us who weren't too numb. By that time, the clouds had come down, black clouds, and it was thundering, and the wind was sort of whipping all the debris from the feast up into the air. All the local people had fled back into the forest, and the hardline OPM had come down, and they basically pushed us into a group and said, back into the forest. And as we sort of trudged back, it was this stoic realization through the tears and the sobs of others that this was, again, a new era in the whole thing. We were now counting months, maybe years.
Witnesses say that Henry was in a rage when he left the mountain and flew back for a meeting with General Prabowo and the British and Dutch military attachés at their base.